Renovating a property can be a game changer for your bottom line. The right upgrades attract better tenants, reduce vacancies, and boost property value. But it's not about spending money on every trendy fixture. It's about targeting the improvements that deliver solid returns. A good way to start is by looking at comparable properties in your market. If your place lacks the basics tenants expect, that's your first priority. Outdated wiring, leaky plumbing, or a faulty HVAC system will undermine any cosmetic changes you make later. Once you've tackled those core items, you can focus on upgrades that increase comfort, efficiency, and overall appeal. Strategic renovations strike a balance between cost and impact, and that's how you maximize return on investment. Some renovations have a more direct effect on monthly revenue than others. Kitchens and bathrooms often yield the highest ROI because they're places people use every day and notice immediately. Upgraded countertops, modern fixtures, and durable flooring signal quality without requiring luxury-level spending. For rentals, consider materials that hold up under daily use and require minimal maintenance. A small kitchen can feel larger with smart layout tweaks, better lighting, and a few well-placed finishes that pop. Bathrooms can also shine with new tile surrounds or updated vanities. Even swapping out old faucets and adding proper ventilation can make a difference in tenant satisfaction. Another area that deserves attention is curb appeal. The exterior is the first thing anyone sees. If the yard is unkempt or the paint is peeling, prospective tenants or buyers might assume the interior is just as neglected. Simple changes go a long way. Fresh paint, trimmed landscaping, and a clean walkway. If the budget allows, consider updating the front door or installing new house numbers. These minor details create a strong first impression, suggesting that the property is well cared for. That sense of pride translates into higher perceived value, which can justify a more competitive rental rate or a better sale price. Energy efficiency upgrades often pay for themselves over time. Tenants value lower utility bills, and many jurisdictions offer incentives for making green improvements. Sealing windows, upgrading insulation, and installing energy-efficient appliances can reduce monthly costs and make your property more marketable. Think about LED lighting too. It's relatively affordable and signals that you care about modern conveniences. An efficient property can command higher rents because tenants factor in savings on utilities. It also reduces the chance of large maintenance bills in the future, since new systems tend to last longer. While cosmetic updates are important, focus on improvements that solve real problems. If the electrical system is outdated, a fancy chandelier won't help. These foundational upgrades aren't glamorous, but they protect your property and keep it compliant with local codes. Addressing them early avoids emergency repairs that might cost more. Prospective tenants pay attention to the integrity of a building. They might not see the wiring, but they'll notice if lights flicker or circuit breakers trip. Doing it right the first time prevents headaches later. A big question is whether to hire professionals or tackle projects yourself. Doing it yourself can save money, but the work must be done well. Sloppy paint jobs or poorly installed fixtures will lower perceived value. Skilled labor adds to your renovation costs, but it often pays off in better workmanship and fewer repairs down the road. At Alpine Property Management, Kansas City, we connect owners with trusted contractors for everything from minor repairs to major overhauls. That expertise and local knowledge can be the difference between a successful renovation and a money pit. Another factor to consider is timing. If you're doing a large project, try to time it with your turnover period to avoid displacing current tenants. If that's not possible, communicate clearly about timelines and disruptions. The fewer surprises, the better the relationship with tenants. If you plan to sell the property after renovations, align your remodel schedule with peak buying seasons. That way, you're not sitting on an empty property for months while interest cools. A little planning with the calendar can help you capture the best audience and avoid missing out on potential income. Let's talk numbers. A remodel can quickly derail if you don't set a clear budget and monitor it closely. Costs like materials, labor, permits, and contingencies add up fast. Decide which items are essential and which are nice to have. Going over budget on a high-end bathroom might eat the funds you planned for kitchen upgrades that could have driven up your rental value. Keep track of every expense in a spreadsheet or app so you know exactly where the money goes. This also helps you evaluate your final return. You can compare the rent increase or the bump in property value to the actual renovation costs, giving you a clearer picture of your ROI. Think about the market segment you're targeting. If your property is in a modest neighborhood, Going overboard with luxury finishes might not pay off. Sticking to mid-range materials that look good and hold up can yield a better return than splurging on top-of-the-line options. On the other hand, if your property is in a higher-end market where tenants expect granite countertops and stainless steel appliances, not providing those could hurt your rent potential. Match the level of your upgrades to the expectations of the tenants or buyers you're trying to attract. This alignment keeps you from over-investing or under-delivering. At Alpine Property Management, Kansas City, we help investors identify renovations that boost long-term profitability. Our local experience tells us which upgrades tenants seek out and which ones don't move the needle. We monitor market trends, gather contractor quotes, and advise on best practices. Whether you're flipping a property or building a rental empire, we can guide you through the process. Renovating without a plan leads to expensive mistakes, but doing it strategically can turn an average property into a top performer. Before we wrap up, a quick note. If you own a property that's become more burden than opportunity, Alpine Property Management, Kansas City can help. We buy houses. Whether it needs a full renovation or just isn't fitting your current strategy, we'll make you a fair offer and handle the details, letting you move on hassle-free. Sometimes cutting your losses or liquidating to fund a better project is the best path forward. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more tips on real estate investing and property management. And remember, strategic renovations aren't about fancy finishes. They're about focusing your budget on improvements that offer the highest return, both in monthly cash flow and overall property value. When done right, these upgrades become the engine that drives long-term profitability.